Yeah, so I studied materials engineering, maybe part of the years of 2009. So
Okay.
barely 15, 16 years ago, I left campus to face the world. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much. Appointed as the industry coordinator, first of all, for the downstream, and also the CEO of Association of Oil Marketing Companies. So what basically that means is very simple. It is kind of a chamber that advocates for the downstream marketers. So to talk about the fuel marketers, that is the likes of Total, Shell, now Vivo,
Okay.
Engine, Pima, Goil, Zen, Style, and so many of them. So in total, there are about 245 oil marketing companies in Ghana.
Wow.
Yes, you know a few of them, but there are
Yes,
so
we know a
many,
few.
so many that are in the system. Just few are not operational due to whatever reasons that it is today. So the main role is to advocate for them. So to be their mouthpiece, to engage stakeholders with the National Petroleum Authority, one of the major, I would say, commissioners or authority, i.e. regulator. And we also have GSA, which is the standard authority, the Ghana Standard Authority, Fire Service, GRA, Ghana Revenue Authority, Bank of Ghana. I mean, there are so many stakeholders in downstream that you're idea of. So you are kind of influencing policy as the CEO or industry coordinator to make sure the right policies are set to drive the downstream business. And that is more technical than just commercial. So I always say that commercial experts are not necessarily economists, but they are people who have technical understanding of the industry that they are commercializing.
So with this, you would need a wealth of engineering knowledge
Fact.
to be able to run it. Yeah.
Fact.
So would you say that the College of Engineering has, in a way, prepared you for this? Is there anything you can?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I would say a very quick example as the former Pima managing director for Ghana was also from College of Engineering, from Chemical Engineering.
Okay.
So what I mean by commercial staff, especially in the energy space, is somebody who understands the product you are selling.
Exactly.
And you are selling a product that is a petroleum product. So you should be somebody with understanding of the petroleum industry, which is technical. And therefore, I would say emphatically that yes, the College of Engineering prepared me in a way to be who I am today. And like any other person, first degree is just first degree. I mean, you ask me how come you moved from materials engineering to petroleum and now you're doing commercial stuff. The career path was not straightforward, and that is the secrets of adaptability. So I'm not that kind of person who is stick to one person. I mean, to one area of life or career path, because it is the dots that really connect to make who you are. After completing materials engineering, I went to pursue petroleum engineering whilst I was working for Lukoil in Europe. I did about 2 masters in petroleum engineering. One was very technical, like mechanical engineering. That's offshore technology. That was more of the mechanics of the production system. And then I did one also on reservoir engineering. So that's what made me a petroleum expert. That I worked on several projects across the world and traveled across the continents. I think what would really shock you is the fact that I didn't even do my PhD in engineering. I did my PhD in petroleum economics and finance. So I developed entirely from the technical aspect. But I would say for a fact that it is this combination of school of thought that's made me who I am today. So I understand the technical aspect of what I do and I understand the impact in terms of revenue in every decision I make. So what that means is that commercially you are sound because you can impact the technical understanding in terms of how things should be done right to affect or influence the revenue flow.
Well, someone said once, I had an interaction with someone who is in the materials engineering field, and he said that materials is the basis for all engineering. That's his opinion. Would you agree, and would you think that in a way is part of what helped you?
I don't know why and how you say the material step is the basis of engineering. I think it play a huge part in engineering, but I don't know why he or she will say that.
In his opinion, everything engineering works with materials, whether it's...
Yes. To that extent, I agree. In every single engineering path you find yourself, you meet a materials engineer who might have studied materials engineering. So when I went to do my internship with highways, I was put in the materials lab, but the materials that they were doing was more of civil materials, not the materials that I knew.
Okay.
But I could associate because I understood everything that they were doing. When you go to aerospace, there's materials and logistics, which is totally different. That's supply chain. So when you go to chemical, there's materials lab for testing, which I can associate.
Okay.
Same in offshore, same in the petroleum production system. And when you go to, I would say, electricals, yes, you see the materials engineering play a very strong role in terms of selection of materials for cables and even the coating. So the single core, the multi-strands, or the multi-strand single cores are materials that should be compatible since you're going to core them. And that's the work of materials engineer. But it should be somebody also with electrical engineering background.
It is, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. So you agree to an extent that there is some aspect of materials in every aspect
of engineering, yes. And I think that's what makes us versatile. That's what could make me move from, just materials to I even did 3 months startup with national service with Newmont.
Okay.
Which I was placed in the environment department. There were other materials engineers that were put in the process plant. There were materials engineers that were put in the digging rig. Where they were digging for what they were sourcing for the gold itself. You become versatile because you learn a lot. You learn a lot with mechanical, electrical, chemical, process controls. You learn a bit of everybody's subject. So that makes you kind of exposed to the broader engineering scope, whilst other engineers are kind of focused on theirs. Yeah.
So you mentioned doing attachments twice, 2 different.
No, I'm somebody who did internship every semester. I did with a steel company, so I was with home steel company, where I was a metallurgist. So I was working as a furnace engineer, where we were casting iron rods.
And this was within your 4-year undergrad?
Yeah, around 4 years. I did about 7 internships.
Wow.
Yeah, I did about 7. Yeah, I did with roads, I did highways, I did with mining, I did with metals. I did with,
at this time, was internship compulsory at the College of
It was
Engineering?
compulsory to do at least one. But I think now it's very compulsory.
Yes, now it is.
Yeah, at time it was a bit flexible, but I didn't joke with it. Every time, whether you pay me or not, I'll do it.
Okay, so you did unpaid internships.
A lot of them. Quite a lot of them. Almost all of them.
Have impacted your knowledge base?
I think I finished my materials engineering more exposed than most of my colleagues, with the fact that I did a lot of internships. So I remember when we were in final year, because now some of the subjects became very practical, and I understood everything practically because I had worked in the furnace, worked in the environment as well. Yeah.
An important aspect that the college is trying to drive. But it's really difficult now this is just to digress a little bit, for our students. Our numbers are huge to get internship placements in places for them to, even if they want to do it free, and of course they are doing it voluntarily, but it's really difficult to place them.
I know. That's why last semester I tried to. That time I was with Ghana Gas as a commercial manager. I was able to convince my company and my CEO to organize a virtual internship for the College of Engineering, because we could not house over 1,000 engineers.
If I may ask, how does a remote internship practicalize anything for students?
Yeah, it's one thing showing you videos of the plant and then being explained by somebody who works in the plant, than just theoretical impact. So what we did was, I think the first day I gave an overview of Ghana Gas operations, and then the second day, the same day, we had a demand and supply from the commercial part, just to understand how the resources are balanced in terms of the supply side and the demand. That's commercial. But the following days it was so technical. So we had the process plant engineers come explain how the plant works in more of chemistry and chemical engineering perspective. And we had the HSC come talk about the health and safety and the sustainability of the plant and operations of Ghana Gas. And I believe I saw some reports on LinkedIn and social media. They were actually solid. People, some of the students really learned quite a lot of things. Yeah. It will not be the same as being on the plant. Let me be honest with you, but I think it was quite
so much better than just
not having at all.
Yes.
And I met someone just this morning telling me that he learned quite a lot of things that the following year, when we're doing process control, he could apply some of the things that
Wonderful.
he learned.
Yeah, it doesn't make it strange when they go into class.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you so much. So I'd also like to ask, what skills and knowledge do you think you've acquired from engineering education that have been most valuable for you in your journey, your professional journey?
Yeah, every course that I learned played a very, very, very massive impact in my career path, to be fair.
Okay.
Even though most of them now are not useful for me because of the changes in role. Most times you say that, this mathematics, how am I going to apply it? You apply mathematics even decision making.
Sure.
I love doing models. So I remember when I was doing my PhD, I used a Bellman-Zadek fuzzy logic model, which was mathematics, to choose the best decision to be made on some models I had built. Because you realize that you don't want to use human intervention to choose ultimate decisions. So you can use mathematics, which is not human being, that's not having a feeling. And that fuzzy logic works like this. So for example, I want to buy a car, and I want a Benz spec of car, but my money is a Tico money. So that model can give you, based on the qualities of car you want and the amount of money you have, it can give you a best choice. That's how
that works.
Yeah. So I had about 3 or 4 options to pick, and the model chose the best one.
And it worked.
So I think that's one thing. But I think there are other personal qualities that I picked up by myself while studying here that actually made me who I am. And if time will permit, I'd like to share 3 keys my dad gave me when I was 18 years. And even coming to K University, I had those keys right on my fingertips. The first one he made mention was that seek for knowledge, not money.
Okay.
Money will follow the knowledge when you have it. And I think today we call it information is power, and knowledge is power as well. I'm somebody who don't believe in I can't do it. If I see something that somebody else does it tells me that I can also do it. So I don't believe in this is difficult and it's not for me and all that. Everything is for everybody. You get it. And then the second pillar he gave me was that you should not leave any stone unturned. Try everything. So I'm somebody who hardly say no. If you ask me, Riverson, can you? I say yes. What do you want? And you can testify.
Yes, I can.
And that's taking me far. And I think it's a quality that every inquisitive engineer should have. You should be able to be hungry for knowledge. You should be hungry to learn something new that you don't know already. That really helped me a lot. And the third one was respect everybody.
Okay.
So respect your peers, respect everybody that even you are older than, because you don't know you're talking to the next president of the country. And that's why I respect every single body I meet.
These are 3 golden keys.
Golden keys, nuggets that you gave me. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I'll just repeat them, and then I'll ask you my next question. He said, your dad says, seek knowledge, not money.
Yeah.
Leave no stone unturned, and then respect everybody.
Correct.
And you've worked with these keys all your life.
Perfect.
And then it's brought you to where you are. Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So just to ask, you said that right now at the moment it appears that some of the things you've learned are not so should I say relevant in the role.
Correct.
So how do you keep up with current knowledge and to be able to apply to the specific roles that
Beautiful.
you have?
So I'm a lecturer, part-time lecturer at several universities, including K University as a visiting lecturer now, and part of the Petroleum Engineering Board of Advisory to the College of Engineering now.
Okay.
So I'm still tied to engineering. I'm still tied to the college. I'm still tied to academia. I research a lot. I publish at least 3 papers every year. I speak at conferences, so I keep myself updated whatever is happening. So that's what I do.
Yeah, so that's how you keep abreast.
Correct.
Do you have any advice you'd like to share with, apart from the 3 nuggets your dad?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the hunger. I remember when I came up to Ghana, 2018. I did a tour around the country, visited almost all the universities, including my own university, K University. And I think I got much more disappointed when I go here than any other university I visited. So I met the petroleum engineers, students. I think they were final year or third year, one of them. And I was asking them randomly why he chose this program. There was one student who was on his phone throughout the lecture. So I asked him, why did you choose this particular program? So my dad asked me to choose it. And I told him that you won't go far. I'm not a prophet of doom, but I don't think you're going to go far. Because first of all, you don't have the appetite of the course you're doing. And you're not showing interest in whatever you're learning. And this is not to brag. Sorry to say this, but I've been able to secure jobs for a lot of students from this College of Engineering. Some in Talu, some in the ministry, some already are out of the country.
God bless you. You're looking forward to more.
So when I come here and I meet those who are really smart and really want to do something, I try to
see
push
them.
them. I see it, yeah. So the advice is to stay hungry, be inquisitive, and
love what you do.
And love what you do, because I'll be very honest with you. Like you said initially, my class, we were about 65. Today I'm told there are more than 200. The industry has not grown
to match
the growing demand. So it is just the few that will get into the industry. And to get into the industry, you should have something that is different. You should have something that your colleagues don't have. Because if you're all coming to me for an interview and you all have the same certificate, I'm going to ask you, what is different from Kofi that I should pick you and not Kofi? And that is why I'm asking you all, the students to think outside the box. Coursera events and programs are here. I just told one of the students that before I completed K University, I had a project management certificate from London. At the same time, so my CV was there and your CV was there. I had something you didn't have, and the fact that I had done several internships and I was very broad in knowledge, that will also stand me out. So you need to not be selfish. Because when I say this, people mistake it to be being selfish and egoistic about you. No. Teamwork is also very important, because we live in a world that you cannot work alone. I'm not saying that go and just be selfish out there and hide things, because some people go to the library, find some books, and go and hide it somewhere because they want to use them alone. That's what I'm talking about. It's about just being a standout. You can help people and still achieve what you want to achieve.
I think I saw your status this morning about the need for you to love your job.
Yes.
And then do it well.
So I love my job and I do it well.
It's very important for students to love what it is they are learning.
Yes.
But then, just by the way, if a student finds himself in a course he doesn't like and probably doesn't have any choice, what's your advice to that student?
Easy. Do it. So like I said, I did materials engineering. Today I'm not doing anything close to materials engineering. First degree is just first degree. I have some of my mates who went to telecom. They're doing fantastic. In fact, one of them is even in France now. One of the biggest telecom engineers ever I've seen even in Europe, a Ghanaian. You understand? Some of my mates went to banking. Were doing fantastically well. They didn't do banking and finance. It's now that every specialty wants to have a first degree. But gone are the days there was no banking and finance first degree. In fact, there was no even business administration first degree. I remember a time, that was the first time the first batch came to K University. They were all master's courses.
that you could add on.
So whatever you're studying, just know that it is the fundamental knowledge that you need, that you can build on.
That's it.
I have not studied anything marketing, but believe me, I can sell anything. Because it's a skill I have. I just need to improve it. You understand? So you can go and study marketing, you come and face me, I'll still sell you out. Know what your passion is. The first degree is just a stepping stone to your career identification.
I agree. So this is advice to you. Engineering students who find yourself in a course you don't want to do or you think you don't like, you really don't know what the future holds for you.
Correct.
That's what Doc is saying. Doc, the last question I'll ask you is, what's next on the horizon for you? What goals, are you working towards, if you don't mind?
I think so many things come in mind when I'm sleeping. I'm somebody who wants to sleep early and wake up at night to meditate. So by the time I go to work, I know what I'm going to do. And I think a lot. That's why maybe I'm graying. Not bad thinking though, just planning. As you might know as well, I've assumed the position as the regional director for SPE Africa.
Yes, I saw that.
And being the first Ghanaian to occupy that position, in fact the youngest as well, to be on the SPE board internationally. Not that I want to wow them, but I want to pay my dues to serve Africa. So that will mean that I'll be traveling across Africa, which I've been doing already. So, because Monday I'm going to Kenya. But what I want to do is to unite Africa in technology, find a way to showcase our innovation. Because one of the things that I came home with was the Hello Tomorrow clan, so our incubator. I came to Ghana in 2018 basically to scout for innovation across Africa. So I was made the ambassador for Hello Tomorrow, a French-based or a France-based ecosystem. There are a lot of things Africa is doing that the world doesn't know about. So I want to use the SPE platform to showcase the knowledge and talent that Africa has. I won't stop organizing events, programs, as you see me doing in the past for SPE Ghana session, which I'm a director now. So I want to see Africa on the radar. And my passion for Africa to be in the limelight is the key. And what I came to talk about today at the TEDx event was talk about the landscape of energy, where Africa stands in terms of innovation and inclusion. So what I see me doing most is to promoting African content through forums and exhibitions and conferences, and if possible, organize a very big African SPE conference.
Thank you so much. That's a lot to chew on.
Thank you too.
Yeah.